Lewis Gerback does a job. Ray Lewis pays the defensive effort.
Fired up, getting ready for the home opener. Ravens defense coming up strong. James Allen stopped. One try. Think that's enough? Let's do it again. James Allen stopped. Down at the goal. James Allen stopped again. Finally, a field goal by Paul Edinger. And we're 3-all. It's 3-0 Chicago. And then Elvis Gerback, play action to Sam Gash out of the backfield, 6-yard touchdown. 10-6 Ravens. Then Shane Matthews downfield, sharper, tips the ball. Ray Lewis scoops it up, interception. Still 10-6 Ravens. Terry Allen takes this pitch and races into the end zone, 1-yard touchdown. And the final 17-6. Ravens take off on this season with their home open victory, 70-6 over the Bears.
Gerback, 23 of 27, 210 yards. Chris, overall thought about his play on the day?
I thought he was a one-man show. I mean, when you take a look at this game without Jamal Lewis, the Ravens just don't have the ability to pound the football in there the way they did last season. It's going to be Gerback or bust this year.
Yeah, Baltimore looked like Baltimore. Ray Lewis is still the heart and soul of this football team. And as much as Brian Billick would like for it to be different in terms of, sure, they won a championship, but I know Brian Billick would like to put some points up and fireworks on offense. Thus far, it hasn't looked that way.
They're going to find out that the secret, the formula to success for winning Super Bowls was the one they stumbled on last year when they had Lewis running the football. This year, they're going to have to throw it. And today, nice stats, but not the kind of offense you
really
really
against
expect.
the Bears.
Yeah, Tampa Bay came away victorious today, but Dallas's defense certainly will be given an awful lot of credit for showing well. Quincy Carter going up against Brad Johnson in this contest.
But Reggie, say that for me. Swinton. I got a little way to go to it. Anyway, 78 yards. He would take this baby, little kickoff, Howard down the sideline right now, then at least to field goal, 3-all. And then Carter back looking, step up, fire. If you throw deep passes, as a rookie, you should be able to throw either incompletions or completions. You shouldn't throw interception. That ball picked off there by Dexter Jackson. And then Johnson in for the sneak. And this was a very good football game, played very hard by the Cowboys defense. Offensively, there, I don't know what that is. I mean, that's bad. That's the end of the game. An interception by Lynch. 10-6. Buccaneers go on the road. Tough Cowboys, but they win.
All right, we're going to give Terry Bradshaw just a bit of a break right now, give him some oxygen. When we come back, we'll show you more highlights. There's Isaac Bruce, one of the many weapons for the St. Louis Rams you'll see on display, taking on the Eagles. More after this.
Leaf blower is nice. Listen, why don't you shut her down and we'll talk price.
The Toyota Game Break, brought to you by the reinvented Toyota Camry. Get the feeling.
Deuce Staley looking to show everyone that he is indeed healthy, and if so, as Howie Long mentioned during the pregame show, it will be a multifaceted Philadelphia Eagles offense. Andy Reid, the head coach, certainly is hoping so. Staley, a key part of the offensive arsenal of the Philadelphia Eagles, who will be hosting the St. Louis Rams in the second half of our doubleheader here on Fox. As we welcome you back to the Toyota Game Break Show, Chris, Howie, Terry, yours truly, James Brown, and let's take you around the league to keep getting you caught up on the action here. New Orleans and Buffalo. New Orleans finally got it together in the second half, TB.
Aaron Brooks rolls right, looks right, fires back to the left side. Down the field, ball intended for Albert Connell. He comes up, look at a nice little deflection, comes off cornerback Ken Irvin's hands, and there you have touchdown, 7-6 that is. Saints, Johnson, rough day. There's Sammy Knight, one of 3 interceptions on the day, 20th of his career. Saints 10-6, and then Saints would capitalize on another turnover. Aaron Brooks finds tight end Cam Cleveland, touchdown of 12 yards. Saints awfully impressive today, 24-6 over the Bills.
That you would say indeed. I know you're very impressed with Aaron Brooks. Hey, what are they trying to get going here in New York? But it's all Colts.
All Colts. Look at this. 4th down and 1. Edgerrin James to the outside. 20-yard touchdown run. 10-7 Colts over the Jets. And then Terrence Wilkins returns a punt. 78 yards out to the outside, back to the inside. Looks like JB back when you were in junior high ball all the way. But this day belonged to Manning, James, the Colts. 45-24, a rout.
All right, as we keep moving along the scoreboard here, Raiders, boy, Howie's old team, they have knotted it up. Boy, that rivalry continues to be a tough one.
Not to worry about it.
Not to worry, huh? All right. TB, Jacksonville and Pitt.
Mark Brunell, 3 touchdown passes on the day. 2 to this man, Jimmy Smith. Remember, he cast away by the Dallas Cowboys, 34-yard touchdown. It's 7-3 Jacksonville. Smith, again, down over the middle. This is second of his today. This one covering 15 yards, 21-3 Jaguars over the Steelers. 6th straight opening day victory for the Jaguars. Bengals, Chris's team is 1 minute and 15 seconds away from pulling off the victory over the New England Patriots. Hold on, says Chris. Hey, exactly. That's what's taking place in this game as well. A low-scoring affair. Seahawks win it by the score of 9-6. Holmgren will take it any way he can get it. And as we told you earlier, Elvis Grbac and the Ravens pull away victorious. Howie talked about Ray Lewis, sensational defensive player as they paced it again. Defense was the name of the game for the Cowboys, but they could not upend the Buccaneers. 10-6, the Buccaneers come away victorious. An outstanding receiving duo. Chris Carter, Randy Moss getting ready today, but this first play of the game belongs to rookie Steve Smith. If you got something to remember the rest of your NFL career, this is it. 94-yard opening touchdown return. There it is. Carolina Panthers up 7-0. Then on a broken play, Dante Culpepper finds Chris Carter. End zone 12-yard touchdown. That ties Carter with Walter Payton for 125 touchdowns, 5th all-time on the NFL. Winky, the rookie out of Florida State, guns it over the middle. Lucien Mohammed, 16-yard touchdown. Whoa, hang on, everybody. 24-13, Panthers over the Vikings. Matt Millen. Matt, how you doing, baby? There you are. Point away. Good luck. Favre out. Schrader down the right sideline. Touchdown, 23 yards. 14-0 Pack. Amon Green, 2nd touchdown on the day. Look, fake the reverse, but give it off to the fullback, up the middle, tailback that is. Inside, outside, 83 yards later. Jeff Quinn, my buddy, he's back there going, go Cornhuskers, go. Go on, Cornhuskers, go. There it is.
Let me hear you say that again.
Go on, Cornhuskers, go. 28-6, Pack over the Lions. Oh, where am I handing this?
You're going to hold on to it yourself because now that you're handing it to nobody, I'm going to come in and talk to my guys about the late games coming up. St. Louis, Philadelphia, start with Big Boy.
It has the makings of a great football game, but, you know, interestingly enough, in the first half of this doubleheader, what we've seen, for the most part, offenses have looked kind of stagnant. They haven't looked as if they're all on the same page. They don't get a lot of time together on the field in the preseason games. Will Kurt Warner's timing be there? Will his internal clock in terms of when the pass rush is coming be a little bit quicker as a byproduct of those concussions from last year?
The offense hasn't been there yet because the Rams haven't played until 4 o'clock. I think that's,
right.
You know, we're so used to watching this tremendous offense go to work, and now they're going up against one of the best defenses in the NFC. Don't be surprised the Eagles get them here.
All right, folks. Boy, you got, TV. Okay, that's about it. Let's take a look at take a look at the doubleheader, folks. Marshall Faulk, the MVP from last season. I think the guy is still very talented, TB. I know you wanted to make a point, but we got to show Jamal Anderson. That sounds good. Jamal Anderson trying to bounce back. Came back last season after that reconstructive knee surgery. This should be his year, and he looks impressive indeed. And Junior Seau, the heart and soul of the Chargers. Hey, folks, your game is now.
Opening day and the renewed commitment of such players as 16-year veteran Ray Brown and the promise and star power of rookies like Michael Vick. His debut today as 2 teams from the NFC West collide in the Atlanta Falcons and the San Francisco 49ers on this first Sunday of the season. A Pro Bowl year.
A phenomenal year for Jeff Garcia last year. Breakout year, some people might say. You see the 4,000 yards passing, and then the chemistry that he and Terrell Owens had last year, both of them ending up in Hawaii last year, but this was not a balanced football team. In order for them to have more success this season, they have to be more balanced. That means J.J. Stokes has to get into the ball game, and Garrison Hurst, after 2.5 years of inactivity, has to pick up where Charlie Garner's 10 TDs and 1,100 yards rushing, 7 yards. So they go back out, they get Dana Stubblefield, put him with Bryant Young. They pick up Andre Carter, and you have to think the young secondary from a year ago is a year older. They're going to be that much better. But these guys haven't played together because of injuries. They haven't been able to get on the field during the preseason. Let's follow me on 3. 1, 2, 3. Follow me.
Atlanta and San Francisco. Our kickoff next on Fox. They stand on their feet for the 49ers on kickoff weekend throughout the National Football League. Moments ago in this stadium, the introduction, the return of number 20, Garrison Hurst.
And finally a running back out of Georgia, number 20, Garrison Hurst.
Former 1,000-yard rusher now back to play today for Steve Mariucci, who begins this his 5th season, admitting loyalty on his part to Hurst, a factor in his patience through those 2 years, seeking now San Francisco's first winning year in 3 seasons.
Yeah, you can just anticipate the butterflies that are going through his stomach right now. I never had that opportunity to be out that long. That's something you never want to wish on a player, but you know he's got to be excited.
He squares off today against the winningest active coach in the National Football League, Dan Reeves.
It's a tail. You win the toss. Will receive.
Part of the old coach. The players have noticed it. More open to change. A new generation.
Yeah, every player to a person tells you that Dan Reeves, hasn't changed his style in terms of how he gets all after it. Everyone knows he's a detail-oriented guy, but a little more mellow in terms of his approach to his players. More accepting, more open to their input and how the team is ran. But at the end of the day, don't be fooled. It's still Dan Reeves' team.
So the kickoff unit coming on for Atlanta, and that would include this rookie in Jay Feely in his NFL debut from the University of Michigan at the age of 25. Kicking off to a former member of this Falcon team, Vinny Sunderland. Number 14 was in camp with Atlanta, signed within the week out of Purdue, the former all Big Ten receiver. And back deep 2 with Jonas Lewis. Feely with the football on the tee, the second half of our doubleheader on kickoff weekend on Fox, underway from 3 Cobb Park. Jonas Lewis slipped 1 tackle and is up to the 27-yard line. A return of 16. Good field position as San Francisco comes out offensively here up front. Look to the left side. Deese in his 10th year. And you also saw Ray Brown in his 16th. Terrell Owens and J.J. Stokes in the lineup together, and Hurst emotionally introduced a short while ago. And at quarterback, Jeff Garcia, and now his 3rd season as a starter, took over midway 2 years ago for Steve Young, and coming off, as mentioned, that Pro Bowl year.
And we talked about it in the opening. They want to see more balance out of this team. A lot of his yards last year came from behind. They don't want to see that situation again this year.
On the move, he throws, and that's caught by Justin Swift, the tight end who gets the start today with Greg Clark injured and inactive. The other side of the football, up front, this veteran quartet, Andre Carter, a rookie on the outside today from California with Stubblefield. Well, that is San Francisco's front. We'll set Atlanta for you after this snap on second down after the gain of 6. And Hurst met at the line of scrimmage. Ahead for a couple inside. Travis Hall on that stop. Defensive tackle. And there is Travis Hall, but briefly, along with Shane Dronette, Brady Smith, and Patrick Kearney today. But what Steve Mariucci is terming a miracle in Garrison Hurst being able to return to the National Football League.
Yeah, Garrison Hurst, 2.5 years out of the NFL is just unheard of. And his remarkable recovery, as you touched on earlier, Paul, is more of a result of the San Francisco 49ers making a commitment to him, and in turn, him making a commitment to the team.
Here comes the blitz. They throw underneath, and Ty Streets at midfield. Still on his feet, 45. Ty Streets to the Falcon, 40-yard line. A gain of 25.
And Garcia just basically picking up where he left off last year. Ty Streets is a guy that, along with J.J. Stokes, they need to have involved in this offense in order to have the kind of balance that we've been talking about. We know what Terrell Owens is going to do, but Ty Streets has to be involved in this offense. They said that, you know, between Stokes, Streets, and Owens, we have probably the best receivers in the NFL.
Ty Streets checks out, did not play a snap in the preseason with hamstring problems. Garcia shifts Beasley. Play action for him. He's going upstairs again. Broken up. Big hit on the near side by Ashley Ambrose. The corner on the pass intended for J.J. Stokes. The 25-yard line. Those corners will lay it on you.
You're going to see Stokes here doing that shallow crossing route, and it looks like you're going to see Ambrose on the other side come into the picture. He could have made a play on this ball, and he just goes to jar the ball out. That's a ball right there that could have been caught by Stokes. Has to bring that ball in.
What about for Ambrose in this his 10th season? His 92nd consecutive start. He and Ray Buchanan, the two corners. Solid for Atlanta.
Solid, solid pros, and they look at this tandem as two of the best in the NFL.
Nice cut by Hurst. The fine 4 yards. Are the wheels back? San Francisco says Garcia, even Mariucci, they didn't see the burst until late in preseason.
No, and we were out at practice the other day, and I had a chance to see him early in the preseason, and you're right, the burst wasn't there. But I tell you what, in practice this week, the guy had a little hitch to his step. I don't know, a lot of that was just because the season was here. There's a gear that you get into in preseason. There's a gear that you get into when the regular season starts. He had that gear during practice last week.
They need 6 on 3rd down. Pressure again for Garcia, and he's sacked for the first time back at the 40-yard line. Taken down. Jasper there, out of Texas A&M, Ed Jasper with the first sack.
And this is a very unheralded defensive line, but they do things well. They do things very well. Coach Johnson, the new coach, defensive line coach, says, this is what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to make it real simple for you. We'll play the run on the way to the quarterback. That way there's no confusion in terms of where you should end up. You should end up on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Jason Baker, a rookie, gets it away. Side of his foot at the 20. Goals inside the 10. It wasn't a good punt. There was pressure. They're going to get a great break. Atlanta must start inside its 10-yard line with the roll. 33 yards. The fumbled snap by a rookie in Baker in his first game.
And talking to Coach Mariucci, he said, you know what, this is our worst nightmare. They're going to be really excited because we've got so many young guys on special teams. This is not the kind of excitement you want to see in a game that we know is going to be very balanced going into it. Everyone, the jitters are there coming onto the field, the first plays of the game. Get them out of the way, and let's play football.
His first game, as he hears from special teams coach Bruce DeHaven, and of course Chris Chandler at the helm, his 5th season as Atlanta's opening day started. Jamal Anderson, not much room off the left side on first down. It's Dana Stubblefield, who comes back after 3 seasons with the Washington Redskins. They say he walked through the door. It was like he had never been gone. Here is Atlanta offensively. Keenan Forney, a 7th-round draft choice to start up front. Bob Whitfield on the left side. In his 10th year, Tony Martin back with Atlanta. His 2nd tour of duty now. Super Bowl year, he and Chris Chandler with quite a tandem. Chandler off his goal line. Hit and driven into the end zone. They'll spot that out at the 1-yard line. Bryant Young with the sack.
We saw it earlier in the sounds of Fox, and you saw how excited Bryant Young was. Talking to him in camp, talking to him before the season. You know this guy said, hey, I'm more comfortable when I have Stubblefield on my other side. That's a great move, great effort move. It wasn't a bunch of technique. A great effort move to get to the quarterback. Very close to being a safety, Paul.
He had 9 sacks last year playing on the inside. He gets 1 here on opening day.
Yeah, you can't underestimate how important it is to have a tandem. You're always talking about having that other guy. Well, Stubblefield is his other guy.
What a hole for Atlanta's first series. Jamal trying to get out of his own end zone is up to the 5-yard line. Taken on by Jason Webster, the corner who hit him first. And it's 4th down.
I tell you what, when you go into a game like this, you want to start talking about questions that need to be answered. First of all,
we welcome those of you joining us today here out west that enjoyed on opening day. Carolina and Minnesota. Sean Jones, I'm Paul Kennedy. Eddie Sutherland to field the punt of Chris Moore, formerly of Buffalo, longtime Buffalo Bill. His 12th season, a yard shy of the inline. Beautiful punt. And he uses the sideline, too, that will sail into the Falcon bench. San Francisco will have it on Atlanta's side of the field. No score early. Excellent first defensive series, wouldn't you say, for a man they call BY here in San Francisco?
You know, Brian Young, you know, it's kind of funny when you talk about the first game of the season. Some guys amp it up, you know, they get pumped up, and then other guys make it happen when the game starts. It's like it's like a big-time fight. After you throw a first blow, you better be able to respond, and Brian Young responded in that first series.
See so many new faces on this first weekend of the season. That includes Kevin Barlow, a rookie out of Pittsburgh, 6'1", 238 pounds. He replaces Garrison Hurst, who carried a couple of times in the early going. He's been very, very impressive, this third-round pick. Here comes his first carry. A gain of a couple. Let's take you through scores earlier today around the National Football League on this first weekend. You saw earlier Carolina with the surprise. There you go, 24-13. Chris Winkie returns to his hometown. Orleans over Buffalo today. Tampa Bay found the Cowboys tougher than expected. Garcia on the move, connects with Barlow out of the backfield. A few more scores for you. We had 6 coaches in all debuting today around the National Football League, their first games. Buffalo, of course, had Greg Lewis.
You're going to wind after you put
former
it down.
defensive coordinator, Titans. Owen Herman Edwards handled pretty good in the fourth quarter there. We're told that Jerry Rice has caught 8 passes so far in that game in Arrowhead.
Well, don't say that too loud here in San Francisco. I don't think the fans will want to hear that. They're going to miss him here.
16 seasons for Jerry Rice, 12 Pro Bowls. Still very much evidence around this organization. Quick slant. Tough catch by Ty, who had the 25-yarder earlier, and they pick up 3 here. And see where they spot that. Is it enough for the first down inside the 40-yard line?
And they go empty backfield in that last play. Basically, all they're trying to do in a play like that, a pass can be a run can be a pass, just short enough to try to get the first down. Didn't go far enough past the post to get the first down.
So Steve will punt. That means Jason Baker is back on. Remember, he dropped the first one. Got it off. He's out of Iowa, kicking to one of the league's best in Darian Gordon, who stands at his 10-yard line. It's at times gusty day. Baker handles this. Gordon calls for the fair catch. And once again, Atlanta must start inside its 10-yard line.
No, doing a great job punting the ball thus far.
Great field position. The San Francisco 49ers here at 3Com. Midway through our first quarter, no score, and yes, Michael Vick debuts with a huddle coming from his own end zone. The most anticipated debut, perhaps since the days of Joe Namath before the merger.
And an interesting position with your back to the wall to put Michael Vick in the game.
His first snap, they give it on the ground, and Jamal Anderson, gain of a half dozen, out to the 11-yard line. He is an electrifying presence. And I think that resounds throughout this entire organization. Renewed attitude, and it comes from a 20-year-old rookie out of Virginia Tech. Of course, the first selection in this year's NFL draft.
And Dan Reeves has learned a lot in terms of dealing with a young quarterback. Obviously, having a situation with John Elway, and we've heard all the stories, and my fault, your fault, nobody's fault. But he's made an effort to bring Vick along very slowly. And you see the play call so far, just handoffs, making sure that he has some success in certain plays. That way, there's no pressure on Vick right now to make something happen.
Dana Stubblefield makes it happen again on the inside, wrapping up Jamal Anderson after he picked up 2. And so Michael Vick, just 2 years of college experience and then close to a $70 million contract, playing and being mentored by Chris Chandler, who is 15 years his elder.
Now, this is where you might see something now. 3rd and short. This is a Michael Vick type play where you might see something special from the Atlanta Falcons.
Needing a yard on 3rd down. The toss. Anderson. Jamal will get it. Crackback 2 to seal that off on the near side. Algie Crumpler coming in motion.
And now the interesting thing about that play, Michael Vick did not execute that play. He basically just pitched the ball off. But his presence, when you're down there 3rd and short, that's when you could run the option. That's when you could run a trick play with a Michael Vick. And I'm telling you, the more and his guys over there has his defense thinking about this. And you've done your job when you have the defense thinking about what could happen and not paying attention to what's actually happening on the field.
Fresh set of downs and coming off his own goal line. Blitz coming. He gets it away, but throws high, intended for Crumpler. And there is no doubting the velocity, the strength of Michael Vick's arm. He did have Crumpler open.
And if there's a criticism of Michael Vick, when you talk to some of the guys on the team, they say, listen, we know he has a cannon for an arm, but he throws the hardest ball. When you talk to some of the young guys, Tony Martin, when you talk to some of the old guys like Tony Martin, I should say, he says he throws the ball just incredibly hard. He's going to have to learn when to put a touch on the ball and when to really gun it in there.
On 2nd down, his possession began back at the 5-yard line. Ron Anderson. There's not going to be a lot early up front. The Atlanta offensive line has its hands full, and just checking in, Chike O'Keefer. For Engelberger, it's O'Keefer, his 3rd year out of Purdue, with this stop of Anderson after a pickup of 1. And O'Keefer now headed to the sideline.
And you always want to talk about matchups and the game within the game, and coaches always trying to figure out how to pit their guy against someone else to get that advantage. Well, one of those games within the games in the matchup is Bryant Young against anybody. Now, you're going to see some of Keenan Fourney, the rookie out of Hawaii, right now.
They spill the backfield. Throwing Vick, and he overshoots his intended target and shot Jefferson at midfield. So 2 incomplete passes, and Atlanta will kick it away as Vick has seen his first action.
Little jitters. I mean, that was a bad ball. It had a little bit too much air underneath that ball. It's got to be a better throw than that.
You know how Brett Favre throws high early in games? Some of the adrenaline to that?
Yeah, and probably the same thing. Brett is like a caged rabbit when the game starts. And maybe, it doesn't really make a difference. If you love football, you're going to be a little bit nervous when you start a football game. But those weren't very good passes by Michael Vick.
Low snap and kicking it toward the sideline, Chris Moore. Kenny Sutherland watches it sail a 2nd time into the Atlanta sideline. Still in the 1st quarter, still without a score, but we have seen the debut of Michael Vick.
Looking for true love and a chance to win a huge cash prize.
Love Cruise is a game to see if you can find your ideal mate.
The object of the game is to be the last couple standing.
Search for romance.
I just kissed you guys.
Each person will have to decide, is their attraction real?
I'm starting to like her.
Or is it deception?
I need this money more than anybody.
Something's gonna happen, I just don't know what.
It's television's newest real-life soap opera.
You hurt people maliciously. Back off.
You've been playing me like school that I am.
Love Cruise, The Maiden Voyage. A reality series premiering at 9/8 Central Fox Tuesday.
Michael Vick in the middle of to your left, that's Chris Chandler, and to the right, their 3rd quarterback for Atlanta, the University of Florida, Doug Johnson, playing for Atlanta a season ago. With the towel on his head. It's a very warm, sunny day here at Candlestick Point, but Sean, that can change rather quickly. Barry Bonds today becomes the all-time leader, most home runs in one season by a left-handed hitter, 62, surpassing Roger Maris. He hit 2 today in Coors Field. Garrison Hurst had speed to get to the corner. Belted out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Ray Buchanan comes up. Thoughts from Bonds in San Francisco, and of course just across the bay where you played, and for Jerry Rice today, 8 receptions in all.
Had a chance to see Jerry in the preseason and see him play, and says he's just totally rejuvenated and glad to get the opportunity to play across the bay, and really think they made a mistake in letting him go. But Terrell Owens just you have to cut the cord at some point. Terrell Owens had gotten to the point where he had to play more and had to get the ball in his hands more.
Like Rice, they move him around and throw behind him. Incomplete. In his last game here in the regular season, he and Garcia connected for an NFL record 20 receptions at the expense of the Chicago Bears on the final game of the year, and one in which was overshadowed by Rice in his final appearance in the stadium.
Yeah, you'll see Terrell Owens just doing a corner and out and trying to make a play on the ball. That ball's just behind him. But you're right, Paul. In fact, it's a funny story. He says he's heard so much negativity about, you know, the fact that he caught those balls on what should have been Jerry Rice's day. And his comeback is, what should have done? Set another record by dropping 21 balls. So he's a no-win situation.
Garcia on 3rd down, wrapped up and dropped back at the 33-yard line. Now the sack by Keith Brooking, the middle linebacker. Moves inside today for the first time in his career, taking over for Jesse Tuggle. Keith Brooking with the sack for the Falcons on Garcia.
Yeah, and Brooking doing a very nice job here, getting through the seam that's created by the off look of the. See, they're fanning out. When they make that fan play, you see Brown right there on the play slamming his fist because he knew he should have turned back inside quicker on Brookins. But that's what Brookins brings to the ball game. This guy's a side-to-side linebacker, can make plays from side to side, and that's what they needed in making a replacement with Jesse Tuggle.
Chris Hudson and Darian Gordon collide. Miscommunication following the 30-yard punt after the sack by Brooking. Alcatraz in the distance. Chris Chandler and this Atlanta offense have been, I might say, imprisoned on their side of the field here in the first quarter. We have already seen Michael Vick today. 2 incomplete passes as Dan Reeves inserts the rookie early, telling our own Tim Ryan we would see him in both halves today. Play action for Chandler. Open down the middle of the field, and that is caught by Tony Martin. San Francisco 39-yard line, a gain of 22 as Tony Martin returns following 2 seasons with the Miami Dolphins back to the Atlanta lineup.
All right, you're going to see Tony Martin here, right here in the slot. He's going to just take it up and just find a hole right here in the seam, where the safety doesn't get over quickly enough, and there's the play. It's good to see them getting back that combination that was so successful for them in their run to the Super Bowl back in 1998.
And Chandler said it was easy to find him. He was always open. Easy to throw to open guys. Anderson in the backfield being led by the H-back and Bob Christian down to the 37-yard line. Let's take you for a St. Louis update with James Jones. And Sean, he got you in
there. Thanks, JB.
That's pass rushing in the booth. But Howie taught him everything.
There you go.
Taylor throws again. Contact at the 10-yard line, and they're a flag. Our first of this game. Jason Webster. Flag for apparent pass interference against Tony Martin. And our referee today, these are replacement officials, of course, as assigned by Mike Piera and the National Football League. Riley Johnson says indeed pass interference against the 49ers. Spot of the foul would mark this at the San Francisco 7-yard line, so it is a very big call.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 36. Will penalize at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Now you're going to see something very subtle right there with Tony Martin using his body against Webster. One of the very subtle things that a veteran receiver will know how to do. No chance of catching that ball, but he uses his body. A young receiver doesn't know to look back. He'll call every time.
First and goal, Mathis in motion. Anderson picking his way through and to the 3-yard line. A gain of 3 for Jamal Anderson. The power and confidence that he brings now. A resurgent, healthy again, posting that 1,000-yard season a year ago. It was the 4th 1,000-yard season of his career.
They know to be successful, Jamal Anderson has to be in the ball game, has to have big ball games. Ball control, that's what Dan Reeves always talks about. Controlling the ball. And Jamal Anderson is their ball control offense.
2 tight ends. Crumpler in motion for Anderson, who lowers his head and drives close to the goal line. He's inside the 1. Ahmad Plummer out of the secondary holding on to it. It'll be 3rd and goal. It's his 9th carry of the first quarter.
And they've got to get their running game going. Atlanta has to get their running game going. Been held under 100 yards in 13 of their last 16 games. That's not a big deal unless you're a running football team, which Atlanta is.
His possession began at their own 39. A long completion to Tony Martin. It's 3rd and goal. For Anderson, who drives into the end zone for the first score of the season for the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta on the road leads 6-0. The completion, the pass interference call, 1st and goal. Atlanta and Anderson punch it in.
You're going to see the play. It's just an ISO off the left side there. Just following his blockers. I mean, when you get that kind of drive off the ball, I mean, it's just like picking grapes at that point.
Chris Moore will set it down for the rookie in Jay Feely. And the kick is through. Atlanta drives the length of the field, leads by a touchdown on the road at 3 count.
Little supervision for the first time in their lives. This fall, forget about home.
Mom, will you just wake up Grandma and leave already?
There's no place like a co-ed dorm.
We can't do this.
I'll go fast like a man. Just give it.
No, wait.
Undeclared. Series premiere Tuesday, September 18th on Fox.
On game day.
You're going to look at the blocking here on the touchdown play. You're going to see the old block here, a lead block, and then Jamal Anderson just following his blockers. When you get that kind of drive on the ball and you don't hold up at the edges right here, that's what happens. Johnny bar the door, you're in the end zone. Even you could run that ball.
I don't know about that. They drove it right at Andre Carter, and concern on the part of the 49ers they might be light on the edges this year. Jamal Anderson, touchdown. And this is fielded by Jonas Lewis, spinning out to the 27-yard line. Next week, the NFL on Fox begins with J.B. Terry, Howie, and Chris on America's favorite pregame show. Then Jeff Garcia and these 49ers will try and get past Leroy Glover and the hard-hitting Saints. Or Jamal Anderson. Here you go in the Falcons, looking to shut down Marshall Faulk. The high-octane Rams in the NFC West Showdown. For other regional action coverage begins at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, out here on the West Coast. Minute 15 remaining in our opening quarter. And again, it's the rookie and Kevin Barlow. Bottom of that pile. So the biggest play so far for either team has in effect been a pass interference call of 30 yards that put Atlanta in position for the first score of the day.
And if you know Coach Mariucci, that'll eat him alive, because what you're trying to do with this team is build some kind of confidence. We talked about the defense in the opening, and when you have plays like that are breakdowns in communication or breakdown in technique, that kills you.
Terrell Owens starts the other way. Garcia rolls to the far side. If Garcia guns, Owens tried to tightrope the sideline, and that is a catch. Far side of the field, and a pickup of 5. Garcia so mobile, throwing on the run, and Owens a tall target at 6'3".
see Terrell Owens, and that's the thing they're going to do with Terrell Owens. Always keep him in motion. You're not going to know where he's going to line up. Does a very good job of playing off the defender, and then the pity-pat on the sideline to getting those feet down and make the reception.
So the first catch of the year for Terrell Owens is on the sideline route. And wrapped up at the 36-yard line, going to his tight end in Eric Johnson, the rookie out of Yale. Close to the first down, may have it as our first quarter comes to a close. Atlanta leading 7-0. Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages and a word from your kickoff weekend. This 2001 season with Sean Jones. I'm Paul Kennedy. Welcome on Fox. A good first quarter for Jeff Garcia. Completed 6 of 8 for 48 yards. Mobile quarterback following last year's Pro Bowl year. Success coming late for him, Sean, at the age of 30, following his Canadian Football League days. Fresh set of downs to open the second quarter. Out of the back, and Barlow in the flat, and wrapped up immediately and dropped by Chris Draft, the linebacker. No gain on the play. And Draft starting today, a former 49er. A waiver claim for Atlanta. Playing with Brooking and Jordan today. Very mobile in his 3rd season. From right here in the Bay Area, played collegiately at Stanford.
Yeah, Atlanta's defense is very interesting. The defensive line very unheralded. Kearney, obviously, a couple of years ago, the #1 pick out of Virginia. But then when you start moving guys around and they're linebacking core, they want to be active. You see Brookins now is playing on the outside, not playing in the middle. They drop a safety down in the box as they're doing. And they want to get after him.
This is Owen. In front of Buchanan. Across midfield and a gain of 16. Terrell's second catch of the day.
And on that play, Garcia's going to drop back and just look for Owens coming across. That crease was created because they dropped one of the safeties down to add some run support, and Owens just runs right through the zone.
Terrell Owens posting consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons, including the 20 catches. Remarkable day against Chicago. Now with 2 wide receivers and a couple of tight ends. Justin Swift on the move. See with a lot of time has one of those tight ends. Eric Johnson out of Yale down to the 32-yard line.
And Johnson's a kid that they really, really like. As you know, Paul was on the golf team at Yale. He's kind of like the big guy that carries around the tuba in the band, but does some special things for them. They really think, and they've had great tight ends here in San Francisco. They really believe that he can be an upgrade from the guys that have been playing that position in previous years.
The New Englander, mentioned tight ends, Brent Jones. In seasons gone by, and remind him a lot. Brent Jones. On first down, and a gain of 16. On the ground now, and Barlow has just stood up. The shot by Keith Brooking on the inside to stuff the run.
Yeah, Barlow makes a mistake right there. You'll see what we're talking about here. Barlow, you'll see Brooking right here in the middle of the screen, and this is where they want to see him. They want to see him not necessarily on a guard, but the ability to move around and make plays, scrape around, and then light a guy up right there in the middle. And the rookie mistake that Barlow makes is that you cannot run like a ruler in the NFL. You better dip those shoulders and deliver that hit before he gets a chance to hit you.
Garrison Hurst going out for the pass. They set up the screen to him with a block in front from Ray Brown. He may have the first down. The veteran in Ray Brown in his 16th season still has the wheels to get out in the flat and throw a block, and they pick up 13 yards.
And Paul, you hear how excited the crowd is with the catch by Garrison Hurst, but Ray Brown is the person that makes this play go. Ray Brown is going to get out here, and you see him just skip his guy in, and then he's downfield to get a block. And this is a play that has to get going in the West Coast offense. The screen has to be an integral part of the offense because so much of the routes get downfield. You have to have something that's a little shorter.
Ray Brown says, my only stats, wins and losses as an offensive lineman. Garcia for the end zone, and he misconnects with Terrell Owens, who is screaming for pass interference on Conrad Hamilton. And Hamilton is shaken on the play for Atlanta. Hamilton hobbled. He was in coverage with Terrell Owens, and Owens and Mariucci believe he fell on the back of Owens' legs. That would have set up first and goal for San Francisco.
Yeah, but you'll see Terrell Owens here right in the slot, and he's going to be going down the seam, and then you're going to see him do a little wiggle here to get off. Hamilton tries to recover and seems like he pulls up a little hammy, and I think Owens on that play has a legitimate gripe. It looks like there was a little contact downfield and he missed it.
Conrad Hamilton, who missed all of last season with a leg and knee injury. Former starter, the New York Giants, when Dan Reeves was there.
What's deceptive about Terrell Owens is that he's a big guy, a long strider, much like J.J. Stokes is in running their routes, but he is so physical. He is so physical when he comes off that you don't really know the kind of power that he's doing when he comes off.
Owens in San Francisco driving, trailing by a touchdown.
そういうキャッチ力があれば。
Three-Com Park, San Francisco, the sellout crowd, Garcia and the 49ers with their 10th play of this drive. Garcia, who's been hot, guns for Owens, and it's broken up incomplete at the goal line by Chris Hudson. What a play by Hudson to bat it down. Starter today at free safety for the first time for Atlanta.
Hudson coming over here. You're going to see him come into your screen, just making a very good play on the ball. Now, this teams play each other so much, you know what's coming. They're playing cover 3 down there, and there are only certain places you can go with the ball. At one place, Garcia had to go with the ball, but Hudson comes across and makes a great play on the football.
Like the injured Hamilton, he was out of football, was Hudson, all last year. Atlanta with 5 defensive backs in now. Third down for San Francisco. Owens goes in motion. Garcia steps up. Pressure coming. Garcia gets it away. Was he outside the pocket? It's ruled incomplete. No intentional grounding. Travis Hall, the tackle, was chasing the elusive Garcia. And Atlanta's defense gets the stop shot.
And this is really a collective effort between Kearney, Hall, Droney, as well as Smith. They call themselves the Backstreet Boys. And you see Hall getting after him. And like I said, they're very unheralded, but they love the way Bill Johnson, their new defensive line coach, has come in and just made it real simple for him.
Jose Cortez will attempt the first field goal of his career. The 26-year-old, his first year with the 49ers. And it is good. Cortez connects in this blustery stadium, and San Francisco is on the board in the second quarter.
Jose
Cortez. I saw that. Baby! Man, he blew a hole in that dude's chest. I told you, man. Look at that. Oh, are you getting this? Oh, no. That's crazy. That is crazy. He didn't do that. I think he did.
ヨーロッパ。
はい、そうそうそう。This was the talk of football a year ago in terms of collegiate play. Michael Vick at Virginia Tech. He won 20 out of 21 games, Sean, and what was most impressive was his foot speed as well as his arm strength.
The fastest quarterback now in the NFL, and very special play, but like all young quarterbacks, playing quarterback in the NFL is probably the hardest position to just come in and just star in. And learning curve for him is going to be there, and he's just going to have to take his time to develop.
Well, he's unfazed by the fact that Dan Reeves put him in the lineup when the Falcons were backed up into their own end zone.
Not at all. When you talk to the kid, I tell you what, if he doesn't have it all yet, he doesn't lack confidence. He says, growing up in the Chesapeake Bay area with all the great athletes that have come from that area, he's always been under that kind of pressure to excel, so this is nothing different for him.
You have to go back to 1975, the last time the Falcons drafted #1 in the draft with a quarterback as their selection. That was, of course, Steve Bartkowski. And unlike Michael Vick, it's almost ancient history, but Bart would tell you he started his very first game in the National Football League.
I don't know how ancient that history is. I played against Bartkowski.
Yeah, that was toward the later stages of his career. No offense meant or taken. And Cortez, who just kicked a 39-yard field goal, boots it away. Derek Vaughn, who led the NFL in kickoff returns a year ago, brings it out up to the 29-yard line. This fall, baseball's postseason unfolds right here on Fox. First 8 of baseball's best battle it out The American and the National League Division Series, both on Fox and Fox Family. And follow the drama of the ALCS, the NLCS, all the way to the crowning moment, the 2001 World Series. Baseball's postseason, starting in October, only on Fox. Barry Bonds with a couple of bombs today, number 61 and 62.
Find a way to make it exciting down the stretch for sure.
Quarterback remains Chris Chandler at the moment. He sets up the screen. Here will come Christian. Gets a block, has the sideline across the 40. Up to the 45, 46-yard line. A nice block. And the flat by Todd McClure, his center, also came downfield. That's a pickup of 16 yards.
You're going to see the screenplay coming up. And the thing about the screenplay is it is a trick play. In other words, it's a play of deception. We want you to think that the ball is going down deep. We want to see the fact that it's going to be a drop back pass. Then we get overhead. They're doing a very good job of executing that screenplay. And Christian does a very good job of running the football and lowering his shoulder and taking the hits when they come. Both teams want to get off their screens.
Chandler's completed his first 2 attempts of the day. Kept the ball on the ground primarily. And do it again. Jamal Anderson, who's hit in the backfield, wrapped up, driven back. Jeff Ulbrich, the linebacker, one of 3 new faces in this linebacking corps today for San Francisco. Ulbrich, Derek Smith in the middle, and Terry Killens, formerly with the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, Ulbrich, the second-year guy out of Hawaii, and I got a chance to see him also in the preseason. What you love about these guys, they don't have experience, but they have go get it. And by that I mean they're going to be active, they're going to run around, and sometimes you can make up for the experience with some kind of youthful enthusiasm.
Played with him last year, his first start of his career. There goes Mathis. Blitz coming. Chandler throws, caught for a first down. Across midfield out of the 44-yard line, a gain of 12 for Mathis in front of the corner, Ahmad Plummer. So how about Chris Chandler overshadowed in all this talk of Vic?
Yeah, a lot of talk of Vic, but Chandler's going to be the guy that has to make it work. You see Mathis going in motion here, squaring up. Then here comes the route running. Knows right away he's got some kind of zone, settles down the zone, and that's the kind of subtle things veteran receivers have to do. Some of the young guys will just, run right through a zone and get knocked out. He knows to sit down in the zone.
They say it's a reinvigorated Chris Chandler in his 14th year. More determined, working harder. Anderson dancing forward for a couple. Maybe the presence of Michael Vick has brought new energy to Chris Chandler's game too. He had a heart-to-heart with Dan Reeves during the offseason. Reeves told him he didn't know if he had a future with this franchise with Vic aboard, and Chandler made a commitment that he was going to be in the weight room every day as part of the offseason program. And
he was right, Paul. He was almost ready to accept the backup role, whatever direction they were going. This is back before the trade was even made. And then recommitted himself to the team, and here he is. He's the starter, and I think for them to go a long way this year, he has to handle it. He's got to make it happen.
Controlling the clock, throwing well. Another completion to Christian out of the backfield. Ulbrich, the linebacker, on his back. And they net 4, driving it to the 36-yard line and out of bounds. Controlled passes for the most part.
Right, and it'll be a long day. It'll be a long day for these 49ers if they can't get better pressure on Atlanta than they're getting right now. They want to try to get there with 4. You cannot get in a position if you're the 49ers where you're going to have to start bringing other guys other than your 4 guys up front because those corners are so young. It's going to put too much pressure on your corners if you can't get there with 4 people.
Nickel package in defensively. San Francisco shift. Bunch formation on 3rd down. Jefferson in motion. They'll run it to Jamal to the 35. And this may be Dan Reeves' first decision today, whether or not, and first of the season, to go for it on 4th down.
And if you want to stab, put a knife in someone's heart in a situation like this, you go for it. Because you want to send a message. If you're a running football team, you want to let people know you're going to run the football. No use punting the ball away here. Go for it.
Dan milking some more time off the clock. Telling Chandler, you saw with the gestures, he talks to the referee. Take the play clock down as much time as possible off the game clock here that has 7:20 remaining. You see on your screen. And call timeout. He'll go to the sideline and set strategy for this 4th down play. Chandler and Atlanta have not won here, have the Falcons, since 1991. They lead in the second quarter.
Not perfect, and definitely not human. From Academy Award winner James Cameron comes the season premiere of the hit series Dark Angel on its new night and time, Friday, September 21st at 8, 7, 7.
Very short one.
San Francisco defensive tackles Bryant Young, Dana Stubblefield digging in, 4th and 1 for Atlanta.
Atlanta counters on their part. They come with regular people. That means they have 2 wide receivers in the game. Watch for the...
You hear that roar shot. Jamal Anderson, the lone setback. Needs a yard. His 14th carry. He gets outside for the first down. Bowling his way to the 24-yard line. He has been the workhorse in this first half as Jamal Anderson for the Atlanta Falcons. He gains 13 yards. Atlanta holds onto the football.
Normally you like to throw that toss into the slot. They go to the toss away from the slot. Jamal Anderson never has been a fan of running east-west, comes downhill running north-south and lowers that shoulder, gets the first down.
So much made of Garrison Hurst comeback and Jamal Anderson. If Atlanta can control the tempo of games on the road, see the results with the scoreboard. Play action to him. Now Chandler will have to take off. Running room in front of him. The 15-yard line down to the 10 and belted out of bounds by the linebacker in Olbrich. Along with Engelberger. Hey, wheels for a 35, 36-year-old guy.
Yeah. If you want to call those wheels, but what you're going to see here, what makes this play happen is the fact that the receivers, there's no way to go with the football. Everybody's covered. You got man on man all around the field. There's no one open. Chandler has to tuck the ball down. People say, well, why didn't he slide? Well, you know a guy like Chandler, it's hard to slide. You can hurt yourself sliding just as much as you can getting hit. So he's just trying to find a way to get out of bounds.
1st and goal once again. A scramble by Chris Chandler. In motion, Mathis. Chandler bootlegs, takes off. Chandler at the 5, sliding.
You talk about the young legs. You talk about the effect like a Michael Vick could have on a Chris Chandler. No one would have thought that he would be teaching Chris Chandler how to run a football. Believe me, this is not something they really want to see out of Chris Chandler. But knowing you're seeing a savvy quarterback here, knowing when he has something, what's there, you know. Actually, it's a very good move here, eluding Engelberger and getting up the field with the ball and then getting down. But you're never going to confuse him for Michael Vick. Never at all.
The 10th play. This time-consuming drive coming. 9 so far. On 2nd and goal. To about the 2-yard line. For Jamal Anderson. He may have 20 carries in this first half, running here behind Bob Whitfield, a 10-year veteran on the left side.
And Jamal Anderson's having some success, but it still, to me, as I'm looking at him, still doesn't have the spark, doesn't have the burst that he had back in 1998. And everyone knows it takes about 2 years to come back from the knee injury. And once again, it's the first game of the season. He's still feeling his way around. But Jamal Anderson, make no doubt about it, is one of the most special running backs in the NFL.
3rd and goal. Anderson behind Chandler going in. Chris taken down at the 10-yard line by Bryant Young.
And just when you need him, just when you need a big play, one of your big play guys comes up with one. That's what Bryant Young just did.
His 2nd sack of the first half. He blew through the rookie and Keenan Forney for this sack.
You're going to see Bryant Young here coming right up. And he's just going to come off the ball. And he just beats him. That's all that happens. You can sit there and try and analyze, and I could come up with a whole bunch of stories in terms of how he did it, but that's just a bad play by the rookie trying to block an all-pro in Bryant Young.
O.J. Feely, his first game in the league.
That's one of those intimidation blocks.
Play clock down to 2. 1. They look like they got it off or not. The kick is ruled good from 28 yards away. And it's Atlanta by a touchdown on the road.
Hey, Steve. 2 me Miller Lite. 2 me Miller Lite. 2 me Miller Lite. 2 me Miller Lite. Toss me the remote. Hey, peanuts. Oh.
Grab the unbreakable plastic bottle from Miller Lite.
I'm such a klutz.
I'm Dan.
It's Miller time.
I'm okay.
Put the food down, walk away, nobody gets hurt.
Let's get him! I got him!
Think you're tough enough to drive a Tacoma?
Give me back!
Join the club. Introducing the double cab with over 5 feet of bed length.
You just can't mess with a man's salad.
Word up.
Introducing the best damn sports show, period.
I hope I don't tear a ligament in my ass.
Join Chris Rose, Tom Arnold, and a bunch of washed-up all-stars.
You got that right, brother.
As they take you places no other show dares to go. Sports comedy.
What, are you horny or something?
Commentary.
If it wasn't for him, baseball would be in the toilet right now.
Updated scores and highlights. What more could you want from a sports show?
I'm a fan, brother. That's more than an athlete.
The best damn sports show, period. Weeknights at 7:30 and 11:30, beginning September 17th.
Ryan joins the cast of Boston Public, Fox Fall.
Long march by Jamal Anderson and Atlanta. A dozen plays resulting in the field goal. They control the clock, keeping the football away from San Francisco. And Jamal Anderson in the first half already shot with 15 carries.
Yeah, if you're Dan Reeves, you're pleased in terms of what they're getting done right now. You want to control the offense and keep that potent, want to control the ball, I should say, and keep that potent San Francisco offense off the field.
Sutherland, our second flag in, as he falls forward to the 25-yard line. We've only seen one penalty flag today, and that was for a pass interference call earlier in the first quarter that set Atlanta up first and goal. And it's holding. Our referee, and Riley Johnson.
Bearing the run back, holding number 59 with a takedown. 10 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Shane Elam with that takedown. That's a real hold.
That was pretty explicit.
Yeah.
The ref said they were going to be more friendly towards the fans, so I guess he's really giving us exactly what happened out on the field.
Just our second penalty marker today, and the word, the buzz, as you know, was that the officials were not throwing a great many flags.
Well, less officiating is better officiating as far as I'm concerned.
Harrison Hurst, nowhere to run. And Atlanta swarms him down, and there is another flag.
Look what you started, Paul.
There's back-to-back plays. So much for less is more, the philosophy of Sean Jones. And the face mask call against the Falcons. That will be the very first penalty of the game on Atlanta.
Number 94, 5-yard face mask foul. We'll tack on 5 yards to the end of the run. Still first down.
Linebacker Andre Crockett saying, who, me? Those hands let him get away to Denver and then re-signed him, brought him back. Denver Broncos, part of the season.
What happens there, when you get a guy running into the line and keeping his feet moving, you're just trying to get him down. And you see the grab there on the face mask, and it was inadvertent, but nonetheless a foul.
5-yard variety sets up shop at the 21-yard line for Garcia, who's been on the sideline a while. Here able to connect to J.J. Stokes. The ball came out, down on contact, ruled a catch upfield. The 32, Buchanan and Brooking on that tackle. We have less than 4 minutes to go, just over 3 minutes remaining in our first half. And a catch by J.J. Stokes.
Yeah, clearly the ball was already down by contact, no punt.
That's his first of the game. Our running room for Garrison Hurst. While we have a moment, you want more of the same great attitude you get from Fox Sports? Then log on to the new foxsports.com. Get local information on your favorite team and the best fantasy football on the web. Log on now to foxsports.com. You search the web shop.
Yeah, all the time.
Check that out.
I've got a board.
Yeah. Even Jimmy. Kimmel is in there. Terrell Owens in motion on second down. Now here comes Hurst. Does he have the speed to get outside? Oh, Brooking caught him. And he does pick up the first down.
Keith Brookins is doing a nice job, though, running from sideline to sideline. And it just have to be a little bit stronger force on the outside to turn that play back to him so he can make that play for a tackle for a loss instead of for a tackle downfield.
We've arrived at our 2-minute warning on this stop by Brooking, but not before. Garrison Hurst with the burst has the first down. Coming off the 2-minute warning, Atlanta by a touchdown. Here in the first half, in the potent offense of the San Francisco 49ers that had all that great success toward the end of the year a season ago has been held in check, due in large measure not only to the Atlanta defense but to its offense and its ball control game plan today, Sean.
Yeah, ball control, but nonetheless, they've got to get a little bit more firepower under this offense. We know they had the success last year, but this year they came into it, they wanted to be more balanced, and they just haven't gotten off yet. 3 points on the board with not a great Atlanta defense. You can't be happy right now.
Garcia with 3 timeouts remaining, and the end around. Here comes Owens. Block out in front of him. Ray Brown is out there leading the way. Support came up from the corner, and Ray Buchanan, after Chris Draft, the linebacker, bent the play back in. Gain of 3. It's Buchanan, and this is his 9th season.
You're going to see Ray Brown come around on the O play here and just lead up there. But what's important here is Ray Brown does a good job of getting out in front and trying to make something out of this play. Guy, as old as he is, trying to still get downfield, making a block. Terrell Owens just doesn't have enough time to turn it up quicker.
Second down, and downfield to Owens to the 42-yard line. In front of Brooking, they got the mismatch. They get 10 and the timeout. With 1:14 remaining in the first half. First timeout taken by San Francisco.
Timeout. San Francisco, that's their first charge timeout.
Terrell Owens with his 3rd catch. Now Garcia over to talk to Steve Mariucci.
I really believe this is where San Francisco is the most dangerous, when they're in a 2-minute offense, or in many cases what Mariucci likes to call his 4-minute offense, because they actually will start outside of 2 minutes. What makes him so dangerous? Well, Garcia, we know he likes to move around in the pocket, and it's like playing street ball as far as he's concerned. Used to the big field or the wide field up in Canada, he's at his best when he's able to move around, find receivers, and hopefully the defense breaks down.
So I'm there with Tim Rattay over for Rick Myers, the backup quarterback. Coming up, of course, the Visa Halftime Show. JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris will have the scores and highlights from this busy day. Kickoff weekend. Plus our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. All coming up on the Visa Halftime Show. Garcia with 12 completions for over 100 yards. The first half, 3 receiver package, 5 defensive backs, and Jeff takes off. Ducks his head at the 37-yard line. He nets 5, and the clock ticks, nearing a minute. He wants to get the 49ers back on the football and run another play before calling a timeout. He has 2 remaining. Taking a lot of time here. Flat again to the tight end, fighting to get to the sideline, and Eric Johnson, and he did not get out of bounds. Johnson did not get out of bounds on the stop by Chris Draft.
Timeout, San Francisco.
And with 38 seconds to go, San Francisco will call timeout. That'll leave him with 1.
Now Atlanta's doing something a little bit different, because any fan at home will always watch a 2-minute situation and say, why are they in prevent? Well, Atlanta's not in prevent here. You see the difference. You make them earn it. They've got a nickel and dime. You go down the field instead of taking a bomb up the field. That's what San Francisco is committed to in this situation. And playing against and Atlanta playing against San Francisco's offense has committed to making sure that San Francisco earns everything they get. That means they're going to have to get just 5 yards at a time, and we're not going to give them the sideline so they can get out of bounds. That's why they had to take that time out just a while ago.
Offensive coordinator Chris Knapp talking to his quarterback, Jeff Garcia. Chris Stroud, an economics degree, by the way, from Stanford. Pretty smart football player.
I guess that'll help him.
Yeah. Third down. San Francisco's been able to convert twice. Get it within the field goal range of Jose Cortez, who's kicked one today. 39 yards. Garcia throws, nearly intercepted at the 31-yard line by Marty Carter. Carter broke on the ball and on his knees nearly had the pick. Didn't have an interception all last year. Would have had his first of this season on opening day.
And you see who met at the quarterback. There was Brady Smith and Patrick Kernan meeting in the quarterback. If you can get that kind of pressure out of your front four, we talked about San Francisco wanting to get pressure out of their front four. You open up so many possibilities when you can get pressure out of your front four. You see Brady Smith coming here on D's, just does a very good move, and then the hit from the backside. If you can get that kind of pressure in the quarterback from your front four, then you can just do anything behind it.
On fourth down, needing 4. Backside pressure and flags first. And the play is whistled down. A flurry of flags late in this first half.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 65. 5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
He'll be kicking himself. Go Ray Brown. I'd like him to move.
And to see the movement here by Ray Brown, the veteran. Yeah, he did jerk there on that play. One thing about San Francisco for today's game, they only dress 7 offensive linemen. Normally that's unheard of, because if anybody goes down in the line, it puts them in a real pickle in terms of who comes in as a backup.
Fourth down, needing 7. Garcia hit as he releases it, gets it off to Hurst, and Hurst is upended, but is very close, dependent on the spot, picking up the first down. Maybe a yard shy. At about 6.5, Ray Buchanan came up to make that tough tackle on Hurst. Quarterback pressure, too, from Shane Ronette.
Ball goes over to Atlanta.
And Atlanta will take over. On down.
Yeah, you're going to see the pressure right here on Garcia. And these guys, we've been saying that this entire drive, they've been doing a very good job of getting pressure on Garcia. Hurst now gets the ball in his hands, but just doesn't have enough to make it the first down. Ray Buchanan, one of the best tacklers in the league. Make sure he's hit, make sure he goes down right there without getting the first down.
Great job by Atlanta's defense today. The veteran in Buchanan, his flamboyance, the stop, and now with 26 seconds remaining, Chandler off to Anderson, up to the 40-41 yard line. Atlanta has a couple of timeouts. 18, 17, 16 seconds remaining. Clock continues to tick. They take a shot here. It's been an excellent first half for the Falcons, as good as they could have hoped for. Chandler to the far sideline with the flag thrown, and out of bounds on the far side of the field for the Falcons. Sean Jefferson, the Chandler pass.
We're going to have a holding call here.
That comes with the time having expired. That's against Atlanta. And San Francisco pretty much will head. So let's get to the dressing room here.
Holding on the offense, number 66. Penalties decline. That's the end of the first half.
So Atlanta, which has not won in San Francisco in a decade, has a touchdown and a field goal. Stellar defensive play and leads 10-3. And Fox NFL Sunday will continue with JB and Terry and the Visa Halftime Report after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
And welcome to the Visa Halftime along with the governor. I'm James Brown. Let's get you caught up.
Elvis Kerr back. Good luck to you today. Elvis Kerr back, play action out of the backfield. Goes Sam Gash, touchdown of 6 yards. 10-6 Ravens over the Bears. And Terry Allen, this pitch around to the right side. Touchdown of 1 yard, 17-6. After a struggle with the Bears, Ravens win. All right, now Dallas Cowboys hosting this young man, Brad Johnson. Watch this, sneaks, touchdown. Tampa Bay 10-6 over the Cowboys. 4th and 9, Quincy Carter, look, firing over the head of Joey Galloway. Lynch there, intercepts, Tampa Bay wins 10-6, your final. Chris Carter, Randy Moss ready to go. Opening kickoff. Rookie Steve Smith. How far does it go, JB?
94
Inside, back to the outside. He will never forget this as long as he lives. Carolina up 7-zip over Minnesota. Now, on a broken play, who scares you more? Dante Culpepper. You got it. Back up. Roll left, finds Chris Carter in the zone. 12-yard touchdown, ties Walter Payton. 5th all-time in touchdowns with 125. Panthers strike back. Chris Winkie, the rookie out of Florida State. 16-yard touchdown pass. Muhsin Mohammed, 24-13. Your final. Favre and my man Matt Millen talking it over. Amon Green, play action up the middle. Hand to a reverse. His second touchdown on the day. This time he goes 83 yards for a touchdown. Nobody going to get him. 28-6. Packed in rock over the Lions. And then Dick Vermeil patting their officials on the back. I'm going to have you boys over here. Y'all replacements, right? Let me work you a little bit here. Might suck up to you a little bit later. Trent Green looking sneak menace. 30-yard touchdown ties the game 24-all with the Raiders. Then with 15 seconds left, Sebastian Janikowski nails this 31-yarder. Raiders on the road take care of their arch rival Kansas City 27-24.
Hey, Governor, real quick, what did Dick Vermeil say?
How y'all doing? Good to see you.
Visa halftime continues after this.
How you doing?
You're watching the NFL on Fox.